I'm Johanna Kitchell, Orchestra Director at Riverside Junior High in Fishers, Indiana.
And I'm Lani Gill. I'm an Orchestra Director at Alamo Heights Junior School in San Antonio, Texas. And today we're going to talk about vibrato and how to teach it in the classroom setting. It can be a little scary at first, but it's really important that you expose your students to developing good vibrato as soon as you can. So here are some things Joanna and I do. I like to start with the preliminary shifting exercises because a lot of those same motions, such as sliding up and down the fingerboard, really emulate a good vibrato motion as well. So it's like teaching two things at once. Next, what I like to do is have some fun in my classroom by passing out egg shakers to everybody. Like these. I pass them around to all my students and put some sort of track as a background. I like to use electronic music, but you can use a pop tune that you like. And have the students move their hands with the correct vibrato motion to the beat of the piece. So for my upper string instrumentalists, what I do is have them turn their pinky towards their nose to emulate what they do when they play their instrument, and they're going to rock back and forth to the beat of the piece. What's really important is that you explain to your students that vibrato is to the note, behind the note, to the note, but never over the note, so you want to be careful. For your lower string students, they can join in the fun too. I have them put the egg on their collarbone and then shake up and down. Just like that.
Another exercise is Purfling Rocking. Have your students take their finger, maybe their second or third finger, and place it on the purfling of their instrument. Those are the black lines that go around the edge of most string instruments. The purfling has a nice divot, so it's a great spot for students to rest a finger. For cello bass, you're going to have them rock their hand on the purfling back and forth. For violin and viola, you're going to have them place their finger on the purfling on the shoulder, and they're going to go in and out. This is going to mimic some more of the arm vibrato motion. Additionally, for cello and for bass, they need to have a wider range of motion for their vibrato. So I have my cellos and basses do an arm swing. Their thumb joint is loose and is placed behind the neck of the instrument where it would go usually. Their fingers stay off the fingerboard, and from their forearm and their elbow, they have a big, wide, swinging motion.
Once your students have mastered these skills, you can move on to doing exercises on the fingerboard. Here's the first thing I like to do. I have all my students put their instrument up, and we're going to shift and stop around the shoulder. It's kind of between third and fourth position for upper string players. We're going to put our third finger on the string. It's the second string for everybody. So it'd be my A string, but her D string. We're not going to push down because you don't want your students to develop a really tight, narrow vibrato. That comes from a lot of tension. So we're going to gently touch the string, and we're going to rock back and forth just like we did with our shaker eggs. Back and front, back and front. You can use silly words. I like to use food words to mimic that. So let's try a few pizzas. Here we go. Pizza, 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 pizza. The next rhythm I like to use are triplets, and I use the word hamburger. When students are doing triplets, be sure that they're starting at the note, going back, coming to the note, then the next set of triplets starts behind the note, coming back to the note, then behind the note. It alternates, so you do need to be very careful with this rhythm. Let's try it out. Here we go. Hamburger, 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 hamburger. Last one I do is basically just a faster version of pizza. I call it enchilada since I'm from Texas and I really like those. Let's give it a go. Ready? Here we go. Enchilada, 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 enchilada. I'm doing wrist vibrato right now using my shoulder as a fulcrum, but if your students start to diverge to arm vibrato and it looks very technically sound, allow them to discover their arm vibrato as well and then teach them the wrist vibrato later. After that, what I do is I find the harmonic on the same string and I have them do the same exercise with harmonics to relieve the tension. When doing this exercise, it does not sound pretty because the harmonic will not sound when you're rocking the finger back. But it's really important to allow your students to do this in order for them not to develop any tension when they're learning vibrato. So first, let's find the harmonic on the string. It's important to find the harmonic on the string with a curved finger, as if we were pressing down, rather than a straight finger when you're usually playing a harmonic. Let's try pizza. Ready? Here we go. Great. Sounds kind of like a scary movie. The next thing that we do is we're going to do the same exercise, but we're going to apply some pressure. You can slowly add little by little until your students feel very comfortable and are not squeezing the instrument, just pushing down enough to where the string is pushed down to sound. Let's try it. Fun. After that, when your students feel really comfortable and do not need the fulcrum anymore, you can bring them back to first position and try some new rhythms that you've made up as well. Johanna is going to show you enchilada turning into a pretty cool vibrato. Everyone develops vibrato at their own pace, so it's really important that you are patient with your students and very consistent with practicing these techniques in the classroom. I hope these tips help you teach vibrato in a classroom setting.